Let's start the show off with a bang and bring in Mariners General Manager Justin Hollander. Thanks so much, Justin. What an off-season it's been. Coming to opening day now, do you feel any different vibes around the ballpark than you did at this time last year?
This time last year for sure, and this is amazing today.
Right?
It's like the middle of June out here. It's great.
I know, I'm dressed like it's like the middle of winter because I know once the shadow hits, I'm going to be freezing. I want to know what you looked at last year in terms of the team and thought, hey, let's make it a little bit different. What do we need a little bit more of? Because you made it so far into the ALCS, 8 outs away from a World Series, so hard to find a ton to improve on, but what did you want to see more of?
A couple of things. I think we wanted a true leadoff hitter, someone who could set the tone at the top of the lineup, get on base in front of Cal and Julio, and ideally a re-signed Josh Naylor when we went into the offseason, so that was important to us. And then fortifying the back end of the bullpen with the second lefty, I think, was important to us. We put a lot on Gabe Spire last year, and giving him a partner this year was really important to us, so the acquisition of Jose Ferrer was meaningful to us in that respect.
What excites you the most when you take a look up and down this lineup, and what biggest concerns do you have going into this year?
I think up and down the whole roster, it's just the number of ways I think we can win games this year. We're not sort of a one-track team. We can only win a game 2-1, or we have to outslug everyone because our pitching's not good enough. I think it's a really well-rounded roster, a team that can beat you in a variety of ways, with a homer, with contact, with defense, with pitching. Obviously, that's kind of been our bread and butter over the years. If there's any concern, I think everyone in my shoes, the concern is injuries.
Yeah.
Like, you got to stay healthy, particularly on the pitching side. Those can come up real fast. We saw it last year, where at times 3/5 of our rotation was on the IL, and nobody's really built to sustain that. We're not really an exception to that, so staying healthy is a big deal for us.
I want to play a guessing game with you based on quotes about a certain player.
Okay.
Someone called him a stinking pro. Someone else said that he's been on my wish list for a long time. It's a new addition.
Yeah.
What's your best guess?
So I'm going to go Kevin Seitzer and Perry Hill on Brendan Donovan.
Wow.
Yes. I didn't even ask you about who said it.
He's
Stinking pro was a dead giveaway for Seitz.
All right. Tell me about Brendan Donovan at the top of your lineup and why he's so consistent, because I don't think he's ever hit below like 278 in his career.
Yeah, he is a stinking pro. I'm with Seitz on that. I think just his process that he repeats from the time he gets to the park until he gets on the field through the game is really unique. He's really disciplined. He makes a ton of contact. He can play a bunch of different spots on the field, and he's just a really good baseball player. He does a lot of things well. There's nothing he can't really do on a field. He can hit the ball over the fence. He can make contact. He can hit the gaps. He can steal a base. He can play 4 or 5 spots on the field. It's just a really valuable star player, and maybe a different way than people are used to saying star player.
You know, preseason expectations haven't been this high maybe in the last 24 years. And we take a look at the banner up there from 2001, that historic 116-win season. You're going to unveil the banner tonight. That's really exciting to see the AL West Championship banner for 2025. How do you guys handle those expectations? Do you embrace them, and what are you thinking when you walk around the clubhouse right now?
You know, I said it earlier today, I'd rather be picked first than last. So I think the only way to handle it is to embrace it. I think it's kind of a loser mentality to say, it's not really what it is, or we have to go prove it. Of course we have to go prove it. You know, all the preseason predictions and the columns don't really mean anything once we get out here and play games, but it's good to be recognized for the kind of talent we have. Now we have to go execute at that level, but I don't want to run away from it at all. We think we're good, and we want to play like it.
You have 4 players that start this season on the injured list. I know a lot of people are looking at J.P. Crawford and Bryce Miller in particular, so what can you tell us about those two?
Sure. J.P. played in a game yesterday in Arizona.
Great.
I think he's going to travel, hopefully in the next day or two, up to Seattle, playing some minor league games. The hope is within a week he's back on the active roster, so hopefully by the time we go on the first road trip, he's back at shortstop for us. And then on Bryce, he's got to go through a full spring training. Obviously, he's progressing really well through a bullpen yesterday at 100%. I believe he's got a live batting practice tomorrow. If that goes well, now we can start to get him in some games. I would anticipate that's going to take about a month to ramp up from no innings to 5+ innings, but that's really good news, and sort of the big picture is that if it's 4 starts or 5 starts or 6 starts, that's much better than the typical oblique injury where you're looking at 2 months, maybe 2.5 months. So feel really good about the progress he's making.
Finally, I would be remiss if I didn't use the words Cal Raleigh in this interview. Just an incredible season last year. We all believe he should have been AL MVP instead of Aaron Judge. We are obviously biased here, but what are reasonable expectations for a guy that set so many records last year, including the 60 home run season?
I don't think Cal looks at his season in the context of how many homers I'm going to hit this year. I think Cal looks at it in the context of how many games can I help the Mariners win this year? Can I help the Mariners win their first World Series? So I think that our expectation of Cal is that he goes out and is an elite leader on the field, that he does things that help us win games every night, whether it's 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 or 70 homers. I don't think that really matters to him, and it doesn't really matter to me as long as the end result is us winning games. He obviously phenomenal last year, sort of unique historical season for a catcher and really for position players, period. I think he's still the best catcher in the league, and we're going to see that in a bunch of different ways this year.
Cal Raleigh and Hal Bali, correct?
Yes, Hal Bali, new addition to the roster.
You find him everywhere. I love it. Justin Hollander, Mariners general manager, thanks so much for joining us.
Having me.
Best of luck this upcoming season.